All right, I'm really excited because in this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to create a really powerful kind of post that you can use to promote and even potentially send ads to that'll get you some great results and be a resource that'll live quite long on your website too. And that is something I like to call the Top Tools Roundup post. Now, this is something that sounds very similar to a resource page, which of course is a list of items that are very helpful for your audience. And yes, this is essentially what this is. But the big difference is that you're creating something that's a little bit more topic specific for your audience, something that a person who has that specific problem or who wants to accomplish that very specific goal, they would want to get access to that and get all those things. And your focus product should obviously live within this list that you're about to create, and I'll go over some examples with you later to kind of inspire you to show you, okay, well, this is what you can actually do. And you can also pull out other products and become an affiliate for those products too. But a great resource page will create a mix of products that are helpful for, again, that specific subtopic within your space. So I guess the best thing to do is just show you some examples of how this works and some best practices on my sites and other people's sites too. Okay, so here we are on James Clear's site. James Clear is a good friend of mine. You can find him at jamesclear.com. He loves to write about, he's an amazing writer actually. He loves to write about all kinds of different things related to focus and productivity and minimalism. And in this case, he wrote a post called How to Pack Light, the complete guide to ultralight minimalist travel. Now, minimalist travel is a subspace within just the more general topic of minimalism, but this post becomes very powerful because people who need this stuff want this stuff because he's there showing all that you need. So we're gonna go through this post really quick and just kind of show you how it's laid out, and hopefully maybe this can give you some ideas for some subtopics and niches that you have in your space that you can provide a top tools list for as well. So, How to Pack Light, the complete guide to ultralight minimalist travel. There's a little bit of an image there, like a little teaser image, some paragraphs about, okay, well, what to expect. And then, very nice, actually, because this is a really, really giant resource here, some nice table of contents that you can actually click through to be taken to that part of this same post. What's also really nice about these kinds of posts is they get fairly good results in search engines too, because they're very specific to questions that people have. So scrolling down even more, if I were to click on, for example, best travel wallets, I am taken to that part of the page where it shows me the minimalist wallet by Capsule. I would care to guess that this is probably an affiliate link, and I think there's an affiliate disclosure here somewhere up top, so we kind of skipped over that. But you can see here there's a number of different items, iPhone, this NGP iPhone case, and he talks about why this is important and related to the topic at hand, which is minimalist travel. Scroll down a little bit more, there's an image of the best travel backpack and why. And of course, a lot of these things, oh, I like this here. So he calls out like some of the features here too. And for anybody who's really interested in minimalist travel, this becomes an incredible resource, one that is more likely to be shared. What's also really cool about this is because it is so specific, you can get really highly targeted with your advertisements too. So if you are at all comfortable with spending money on ads to have this be shown to your audience or other people in your audience or even people who aren't in your audience yet, this is something that makes it a little bit easier for you to do because it's more specific. You can target the exact audience that you need to target who would find this very helpful. Scrolling down a little bit more, I see what looks like some very personal images of him. That sounds weird, but like actual photos that he took versus like, the stock images that you might find from Amazon. I like that too because it just makes it more real, like it's actually stuff that he uses. And then as I continue to scroll down, look at this, best travel clothes. Note, given that I'm a man, I'm only reviewing men's travel clothing, so he had some notes in there too. And look how big this is. As you can see, this will take a little bit more work to create a resource like this, but as you can see, it is something that is highly valuable, a little bit more targeted. He even has some footnotes here too. But hopefully this gives you a little bit of inspiration in terms of, okay, well, maybe there's something specific that relates to your focus product that you can create a resource list like this for. It doesn't have to be quite as long. As long as it has everything a person needs, then it's gonna be highly valuable. Now here we are on another friend of mine's website, Steve Cam, and his website is nerdfitness.com. His website is sort of the epitome of the example we all use for niche marketing because, of course, fitness and health, right? But for nerds specifically, so nerdy that most of his pictures show some Lego figures, like this one here for Cooking 101, Your Essential Kitchen Tools. There's a Lego sort of butcher knife there with some stuff that looks like, some veggies and stuff, which is really cool. But as you scroll down, you'll notice that this is an article that relates to the tools you can use as a chef when you're cooking, because he's teaching people how to be healthy, and part of healthy eating is healthy cooking too, and having the right tools to do that. So again, a very specific thing, cooking, and inside of cooking, cooking essentials and tools within the grander scheme of, staying healthy and fitness. So you can see here the cutting board, the recommended cutting board, and a little bit of an explanation about why that one's important. The nonstick pan, again, similar to James's site, these are pictures that obviously somebody took of these things, not just stock images off of Amazon. And sauce pot recommendation, meat thermometer, our recommendation. So these are likely affiliate links too. If I were to click on, for example, this meat thermometer, I'm curious to see where it takes me. And yes, it does take me to Amazon, which is really cool. So I'm going to click out of that and scroll down a little bit more. And you can even see in the bottom here, you'll see a number of comments from people who got a lot of value out of this. Look at 34 comments here and people having discussions about it too. So it becomes another example for you of, okay, in the bigger grand scheme of things that you teach, what small specific thing that might a person need information and tools for? And let's go create a list post about that. Now, as a side note, the ones that I'm covering right now and the next one, which is an example for myself, these are all tools, right? And physical items that people can buy, which is obviously very easy to create sort of top tools posts for. The appeal with tools is that when people see them, they can kind of imagine themselves using them. A lot of people love to assume that when they get that tool, they immediately become like a pro. For example, if I were to share camera items with you, you might assume that when you get that camera item, you're going to immediately start taking great pictures. And sometimes that can actually be the case. I would also recommend that in addition to the tools that you are offering, you recommend some strategies on how to use them or best practices so that they can get the full effect of actually getting that tool as well. So it's not just about the tools, but how to use them. Make it a really valuable post for your people, and you're going to be rewarded for it. Now, a while back, I used to do Periscope streaming quite a bit. I still do live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. I don't necessarily use Periscope anymore, but when it was big on Periscope and Periscope first came out, a lot of people asked me, well, what tools am I using? How am I getting that cool camera angle? What tripod am I using? What microphone am I using? And so I ended up creating a post, or actually a page, that was essentially this Top Tools Roundup post specifically for people who wanted to know what kind of gear I was using to conduct these live streams. And as you can see here, it's just the microphone. And again, there's a little bit of a disclosure up there, as you can see. Again, best practices, right? The lens I was using, the tripod I was using, the adapter I was using to connect my phone to my tripod, and something I was using to take notes. Again, very simple. So on the fly, you can create these things as well. So just keep that in mind. That's why I wanted to share this example with you. So in this example you're seeing here, this is top tech tools for families. So if you are a parent who has a blog and you have a lot of resources on your resource page already, you might want to pull out just the top tech tools, for example, or maybe the top, that's where the sub niche is. It's not necessarily the topic, but more so the kind of product that you're promoting. And that can end up being in its own roundup post too, just like this one. So this page is a page on Thomas Frank's website. He has a really popular YouTube channel that helps people who are in college. And similar to the minimalist packing list, there's an ultimate college packing list here. And this lives on his resource page now, but I would care to guess that maybe this was a post that he created a while back that went popular. That's something that can often happen with these roundup posts. You create them as a post and they become so popular that you end up pulling them out and making them a little bit more static because it's something that you want everybody to get to. So if you want to check out this page, it's going to be linked to below with all the other ones too, just so you can get some inspiration and see examples. This is one of the best examples I've seen of a resource page that has some really good stuff, and it's broken down into a way that just kind of makes sense for this particular audience. Here's an example from my own page, 21 web applications I use and can't live without. Again, this is similar to that parenting one we saw earlier. So instead of apps, these are web applications. And so for example, you'll see like Crazy Egg here, which helps me keep track of stats, analytical tools. I have writing tools, email, podcasting. A lot of this stuff does overlap with what is on my resource page, and that's okay too. That's why I wanted to bring this one out for you. But at the same time, it also keeps people up to date on what I'm using right now. So you can do these posts every once in a while and inject these affiliate offers in there. Some of these products are affiliate offers, some of them are not, but they're just useful applications that I use and that I want to share with other people too. This one you're seeing here is actually a podcast episode, so it doesn't just have to be blog posts. You can create videos and podcast episodes related to your favorite tools. Now, what I love about this one is not just a different form of content, podcast, but it also shows you my favorite of a specific time period, so within 2016. It's very common, especially on YouTube actually, to have people share their favorite tools or resources or courses or educational items that they've used within a certain time period. So for example, I could create a 2017 list, and you can create a 2018 edition. You can create a 2019 edition. It can become something that can stay up to date, and also just people can expect it and look forward to it each time. And finally, I wanted to give you another example outside of the spaces we've talked about already. This is on Jade Friedman's site, and this is a book marketing resource page. So for people who are doing book marketing, this is, again, similar to the best of that we just talked about. This is the best of 2016. So this is an older post that was started at the beginning of the year here. And so stuff on Amazon for authors, Facebook for authors, social media for authors, copywriting, blogging, giveaways, reviews, and discounts, all these different tools. Some of them may be affiliate earnings, some of them not, some of them are downloadables, some of them are other websites, some of them are podcast episodes. Again, just a resource list. It doesn't have to be a list of just physical items. It could be a list of other places on the web that can be helpful too. Now, for those of you who have a focused product that's more informational, like a guide or a course or something like that, it may be a little bit more difficult for you to come up with an idea like a top tool roundup post, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. You just have to get a little bit more creative. So let's say, for example, that I'm helping people on my website learn how to go fishing, right? So I take a very specific sub-niche in that, fishing in California, for example, because my affiliate item is a guide to help people catch more fish in California, or tools people can use to catch more fish in California. So I can write a list post that has 5 items, maybe a couple pieces of equipment, maybe a couple resources and videos on YouTube about how to fish certain lakes or streams in California, and then that guide. Here's a guide that I use and found to help you catch more fish in California. So you can see it just becomes a great resource for people who want to fish in California. Now, what's cool about these posts is that after you publish them, you definitely have permission to promote them. You should send them out to your email list, like broadcast emails out to your list. You can send traffic to them through other means, social media, or even paid traffic too. These are posts that can be shared more than a lot of other posts because people love these list posts. People love tools, and that combined allows for viral growth potentially. But not only that, it also is something that can continue to help you over time, not just the time that you promote it, but over time as it begins to rank in Google, as it begins to be a resource that people just begin to know about, like these other ones we just talked about. You should definitely consider how you can combine some of the stuff we did in step 2, such as your email autoresponder sequence, or of course, placing this on your resource page, or if it makes sense, on your Start Here page too, or even go back into your older archive and see where this newly updated list can live in some of your past content. It can definitely help you out because, again, it becomes another indirect way, a way that you've provided a ton of value, made things so much easier and more convenient for people, but also the potential to get paid back through these resources that you're promoting. Now, like in step 2, you can continue to watch all the rest of the lessons here first before you pick and choose, but when you are ready, your action item for this video, I think it's obvious, is to go and create your top tools roundup post and hopefully incorporate one or more of the affiliate products that you're promoting. Make sure to pick a specific sub-niche, and then after you promote it, after you share it and publish it, and post it out there, then see how you can go back into time and incorporate it into some of the other things we've already created for ourselves, because this is a great resource that will live not just today, but for a very long time. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Links below to all those examples so you can get some inspiration are below. Be creative with it, have fun, and I'll see you in the next lesson.